My girlfriend is cheating on me with a fictional character? I don't know what to do. The whole foundation of my relationship is a lie, and I'm sitting here asking myself if someone can be cheated on with a fictional character. I'm so confused and so hurt. I need advice on what to do. I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years, and I want to marry her, start a family with her, and be with her forever. She is my rock and my best friend, but I'm breaking down right now because I found out that she's essentially been in love with a fictional character her entire life and is basically living a secret double life outside of the one we're living together. My girlfriend has always been a little on the quirky side, but nothing that I would say is bad. She typically hyper-focuses on her hobbies. She writes a lot of fiction, draws, and she reads a ton too. I've tried connecting to her by expressing interest in what she creates and reads, but she always deflected me, not in a rude way or anything, but more in a way that made me feel it was more her thing, so I always backed off. One series I noticed she reads over and over again, and I never thought anything of it because I have shows that I can watch countless times without getting bored. What I wasn't anticipating is that she is in an imaginary relationship with one of the characters in this series, and has been since she was a teenager. She hid this really well as she's been a great girlfriend and she never talks about the series ever. She doesn't come across as cringy about her interests, and she seems balanced enough in what she's willing to talk about with me and with others. Not at all like some people who get obsessed with something and that's all they talk about. She just seems like a normal person with normal interests. She's also very caring, compassionate, loving, and I felt she was really in tune to my needs and the needs of those around her. Although when this issue came to light, she admitted that most of the time she's projecting him onto me, which broke my heart. I'm just learning now my girlfriend is using me as a physical body to project her fictional boyfriend onto, and I think that's super weird and disregards me as a person. I found this out because I had to borrow her computer, and when I opened it up I found a whole hard drive worth of art, stories, and images of this character. A lot are just of her, or a character that looks like her, and this character doing things or going on adventures in comics, but some are pornographic, which is really disturbing to me. I confronted her, asking what the hell is up with this hard drive. I thought maybe she did commissions for the fanbase or something, and that it was just a wacky hobby she had. But when I confronted her, I saw something in my girlfriend break. It was like a mask fell off her face and she completely deflated. I actually recoiled when she told me that we needed to sit down and have a serious conversation about it, which I was not expecting because up until that point, I didn't think it was anything mind-bendingly serious. We sat down and she told me that she understood how weird it was, and that she had tried really hard to hide this aspect of her, that she understands it's not normal. She told me that she had been in love with this character since she was a teenager and that he had become a coping mechanism and a moral compass to her or sorts. She says she thinks about him literally every single day and that he keeps her company when I'm gone on work trips or when she's sad and needs someone to talk to. My girlfriend did have a rough childhood. Her dad was gone and her mother was emotionally abusive and neglectful, and I think she was physically abused too. She had siblings which were shipped off to relatives at various ages and for various reasons, and so my girlfriend had serious abandonment issues related to that. One thing she never quite got over was when her twin sister went for a car ride with her mom and just never came back. She got shipped off to the airport where her aunt was waiting for her because her mom couldn't afford both kids anymore. My girlfriend told me that when she was a kid, she had no friends or support. At any moment, she felt she could lose everything, and her only constant was to read books and to invent stories around characters she liked. She told me it gave her something to control when she had no say in her life. That's when she met her boyfriend in the series she always reads, and suddenly everything in her life seemed better. She told me that when she was a teenager, she wasn't worried about this crush because there were people in her class who had crushes on characters from shows or from bands, and it made her feel normal, like it was a way to explore romantic interests before pursuing real ones. Yet when she got older, she became concerned by the fact that this obsession wasn't going away, and that she remained fixated on this character. Essentially, this fictional character became a therapist to her, and she was able to not fall into some of the pitfalls her siblings did. Early pregnancy, drug and alcohol issues, anger issues. This character even saved her from a potentially abusive relationship in her early 20s, as the guy was overly controlling of her, and she felt that the character would never treat me this way, so she dumped him. She told me that she wanted to live a certain way because she wanted to be good enough for her fictional boyfriend. And yes, she did refer to him as her boyfriend, which was a slap to the face to me. My head was spinning. I have never heard of this before, and I started asking her a bunch of questions. I asked if she thought of him when we were intimate, and she said yes. I also asked her if she loved me or could love me. She said she didn't know, but she felt like she could. She told me that she has trouble feeling emotions by herself, and that the emotions she does feel are a persona she puts on, which torments her because she did want what was best for me, and she would do anything to support me. She told me that she understood how hurt I was, but that she also knew that I wouldn't understand because I wasn't there, and that I didn't understand what it was like to lose so many people, and that the only way that she could lose him is if she died, then they'd die together. It felt like a weird pseudo-religion or spirituality to me. I had no idea my girlfriend was this broken. I told her that I felt cheated on, but she disagreed. She told me that it wasn't the same as a real person, and that the person that she is in her head isn't her, but her ideal self. She also told me that it was the same as me following IG models and fantasizing about them, which I do on a normal level, I think, but I'm not obsessed with them. I certainly wouldn't have a mental, one-sided relationship with any of them, and could and would unfollow all of them at the request of my girlfriend. I asked her if she would be willing to go to therapy to sort through these issues and to get rid of everything that was part of this series, because her obsession with this character wasn't healthy. She started to tear up and told me no, that she wouldn't be willing to let go of him, and that she was really sorry, but that he was here first. She disagreed about it being unhealthy, and that she used him as inspiration to be a better person, to reach for success, excel at her hobbies, and to even learn how to be a good, loving partner. She told me that I didn't have a right to take away her coping mechanism and her philosophy for life. I was gobsmacked, and I started yelling at her, demanding to know if she was truly saying she would prioritize a fictional character over me. She said she wouldn't because she didn't feel it would ever come to that, and that her relationship with him was none of my business. She also said that if it weren't for me accidentally finding her hard drive, I wouldn't know. I told her that wasn't fair to say because if it was a secret relationship with a real person, it would still be cheating. My girlfriend then told me that she was sorry, that she would leave and spend time with her friend while I thought about it, and that she would understand if this was a deal breaker. She then left after packing some things, telling me that she did love me and that she was sorry for the circumstances we were both in, and that she would be willing to be fully transparent with me. I'm shook up and embarrassed. I don't know how to tell my friends or parents because I feel second best to someone who isn't even real. I tried to open one of her books, to read it so that I could understand what she sees in him, but it made me want to throw up, so I stopped. I have no idea what to do. I don't want to break up with the woman I love, but this is so weird to me. I literally feel second best and cheated on with someone who isn't even real. She let me know she made it safely to her friend's place, and I asked her again if she would be willing to go to therapy. She texted back yes, but not with the goal to get rid of the character, but more to help us understand each other better. She seems reasonable about this, and almost a little too measured, which is a little off-putting to me, too. It's as if she planned exactly how this conversation would go down if I ever found out, and it feels way too calculated. However, on the other hand, my girlfriend is a genuinely good person, and she's successful despite her past, and especially in comparison to the rest of her family. I want to give her some grace because she truly must have had to do some mental gymnastics as a kid just to survive emotionally, and by our talk today it seems like she's done a lot of soul searching, but this also seems like a really juvenile fixation. What would you do? Is this cheating? Can someone really find support through a fictional character? TLDR. Found a hard drive on my girlfriend's computer that was full of comics, art, some pornographic, and stories of her imaginary relationship with a fictional character from a series she reads. I confronted her and she said she's been in this fictional relationship since a teenager, and that it is her coping mechanism because she had an extremely traumatic childhood. I feel cheated on and I'm afraid my girlfriend is too broken to love the real me. I feel second best to someone who isn't even real, but I still love my girlfriend and want to understand her.